Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and today's run is going to be something a little different. So, one of my frequent viewers, I'm not sure how far I want to go into detail, but those of you who are on my Discord already know and have some idea what's going on. Those who choose to go there will probably figure it out. So one of my viewers by the name of XR Freedom has been having a really, really awful week. And it's a shame that's the way things have been going for him. And I'll get into it. I will, trust me. But suffice it to say, things have been going, for lack of a better word, pretty god-awful. So I decided to reach out and be like, hey, I kind of have some idea what this is like. How about I have you build me a run, and I'll do what I can to, talk about your problems and see if I can't help things feel just a little bit better. This seems like the best I can do outside of, well, we'll get into that, but the idea behind the run is very simple, and for Freedom, it's the actual description of the run is it's a familiar power build. It's going back to something strong to lean on in tough times and bouncing back triumphantly. So I can dig that, and with that having been said, he did say that if I wanted to, I could probably change up the robe to the awe robe or something more critical hit based, but considering the explanation and what it's supposed to represent, I think I'm going to stick with it as is. I just think that's the better idea. So let's go ahead and grab our gold. Thank you, Jade. Let's see, do you have anything I want? Not really. Not this time, anyway. But I do want to do something just a little different. I also figured under the theme of making things feel a little bit more familiar and wanting things to kind of help bounce back from bad times, I figured I would go with the classic music. Similar reasoning. Alright, there is a specific cursed relic that I'm looking for. I'll know it when I see it. It just hasn't come up yet. Then again, with only 4 possibilities at any given time, sometimes it takes a moment. Man, come on, Nox. You're gonna set up shop out here. At least be kind of nice about it. That's not it, is it? Nope. Alright. I'm only gonna give this a few more tries. Now, I say that, but you all know how stubborn I am. No, we still haven't found it. Pardon me. Don't worry, we're going to talk about what's been going on with Freedom in just a minute here. Suffice it to say, and more than likely you'll have figured this out by the title of the video, but my man has been having a terrible, awful, no good, very bad week, and we're going to talk about it and try to... Let's see, what are you, chaotic comedy? Yay. One of these days I am going to do a chaotic comedy run. I just don't think that this is the right time for it, as I'm trying to be successful. Boy, I hope the cursed relic I'm looking for hasn't just been taken, like, out of the game. Because that would just make me feel bad. Partially for wasting your time, and partially because I actually kind of like the cursed relic I'm trying to find. There it is! Retro floor plan. We are going to start with that, because I figure why not have a slightly more interesting start. But simultaneously, why also not make things just a little bit more difficult, but also have a slightly better payout in the end. Now, for what it's worth, I probably also could have taken Pie of 5 Fruits, but oh well. Alright, so... my problem with taking the electric one is... oh, look at this. Okay, so we're probably going to focus on relics on this floor. Because not only do we have Gloves of Gambit here to help boost our projectile play, we've also got the Analytical Monocle. And we're definitely taking the gloves. Ow. But maybe with the retro floor plan, I'll be able to afford everything that I want. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now that I've cleared a few rooms and kind of gotten my head on straight, let's actually go over things and see what's been going on lately. So, looks like there are three primary events that have happened, and I'm going to go over them in kind of like, I would say no particular order, and saying order of severity might sound a little bit rude after you hear one of the events. And it's not my intention to downplay the severity of anything here, because I don't even think that any of these events are in any minor amount of severity. There are a couple of things that I have slightly stronger feelings about than others, and I wanted to go over them in the most appropriate order I could. I don't know, I think I'm rambling at this point, so why don't I just shut up and get to it. So let's start with one of his co-workers apparently freaked out on him and they had to fire that person. Now, I don't know your co-worker very well. I couldn't possibly tell you what was going on with them, or why there was any kind of a freak out at all. I'm curious as to whether or not something like that got violent. If that's what you mean by freak out, then yeah, that person needed to go. Like, I don't know who thinks it's okay to actually like flip out and get violent on someone for any reason. Especially not at work, where presumably you're all there to be adults and make money to, you know, to make life better outside of work. But hey, what can I say? Some people just... Some people are that kind of person that just can't be consoled and will go out of their way to make things difficult for people. Why? I wish I had a good answer. Some people just... Like, I think what I keep coming back to is, what was this freak out over? Like, what were they on about? Now, I know you said you worked with engineers. Like, I'm not sure it matters what type of engineer, you know, computer engineer or what. That's not necessarily... Owie, owie. Alright, that's a nice little reminder for me to be a bit more careful since I do have Retro Floor Plan running. You, sir. Well, I mean, honestly, Mercenary's Dagger is almost a freebie with how much money I'm making, so yeah, I'm just gonna grab it. Alright. Not a bad first floor, huh? Let's keep going. So, what I will say on the regard of the coworker is that everyone's got their problems. I don't know what that person's problems were, or why they thought whatever they're going through is important enough to, you know, mess up someone else's time, and you know, you don't do that sort of thing to people. Everyone's going through things. And, you know, whatever your coworker was going through was definitely not enough to justify making things difficult on someone. And I can only guess that something that was serious enough to fire someone over must have been a real mess. We have 2 cursed relics, we will definitely take that. Oh, hello. God, it immediately had an effect. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Here we go. Oh, hello, Doctor. Alright, so I was kind of considering just not buying anything from Iris, but with Dr. Song there, that becomes a much better value proposition. So now looking at it outside of the realm of, oh, this person freaked out at me, it's the idea that that person had to be fired that I think is the real kicker, because you're talking about a job as an engineer where everyone has a huge workload. So now whatever that person's workload is has to get disseminated down to everyone else. Ugh. I feel for you on that one. Like, there's no real two ways about it. That's just a... Yay, I suck. That's just a bad situation no matter how you look at it. So hopefully that person is getting the help that they need. And if not, then... I mean, I don't know what to say at that point. Maybe this person is just an entitled jerk-off. Who knows? So, I kind of want to grab that, but I also kind of want to give something to Dr. Song. Whatever, let's give something to Dr. Song. Oh, no, wait, I can't, because it's going to end up taking Seismic Assault. God, I'm stupid. Okay, well... There we go. Okay, well, that just made things more difficult than they needed to be. There we go. That was a pretty solid victory. I like it. No fist. I like what I have. Hey guys, walk into that. Excellent. Okay, so we're definitely going to want the upgrade to Fiery Yo-Yo, that's for sure. Hey guys, walk into that. You make me feel just a little bit less stupid for buying something that actually isn't going to be very helpful at all. There you go. Try to kill as many enemies as I can with the basic, that way I can preserve a little bit of money to spend on other things. I don't think that's going to have a use, but grab it just in case. Nice. Hey, things here are very nice. They're not thrilling, but nice. Alright, so what was the second event that happened that made this a terrible, terrible week that we speak of less than we speak of Lord Voldemort? Well, apparently my man had to put his dog down. Now, when you have to make a decision like that, that is just plain awful. Like, nothing prepares you to have to make the decision to end the life of a family member. And you heard me right, I did say family member, because Some people might be like, oh, it's just a pet, who cares? That means that you are a sociopath. No, you make the decision to get an animal to take into your house, not just to act as just, you know, a creature that just lives with you and, you know, snarfs down all of your table scraps. That is... Oops. Okay, I wanted to get the other one, but I guess... So long as we're making bad decisions, let's just keep making them. And I've had a very similar issue. Like I've had, well, to be fair, I never had to put any of my birds down, but I have had my birds, you know, they've obviously died. Not you guys. You guys are fine. But I bring that up as a way of saying, I have had family pets die as well. And I should clarify that this isn't like just, it wasn't like I had to make the decision to put them down. No, the last bird I had actually just died of old age, and it wasn't... So I'm probably not going to use that spell, by the way, just so we're all clear. So no, it wasn't just like, oh, there he goes, and it wasn't like a super peaceful passing. No. Unfortunately, I think what it was is my little friend. Like, this bird and I were thick as thieves. Like there was nothing that the two of us wouldn't do together. Like, he was there when I first started the YouTube channel, honestly. So when he passed, it was like, I could see it was coming. He was obviously getting lethargic. He wasn't feeling well. One thing that he was doing is because he could see that the computer was where I was spending a lot of time, is that he would spend a lot of time just sitting on the keyboard of my computer. And I don't think it was necessarily to just get attention. I think it was because he knew that was a spot where that was something that made me happy. So he wanted to make things as comfortable as possible for both of us. Really? You guys are supposed to have reduced hit points. How are you still alive? Yeah, I don't even want the stupid firewall. Like, we can get rid of that, honestly. Thing is, I don't want... Like, I'm going up against Freya, so I don't necessarily want the scimitars either. You know what I can do? So even though it doesn't count as a projectile, it will still function along similar lines, and it will be good against Freya. Nice and powerful. And actually, I just thought thought about this. Since I have a bunch of extra Arcana lying around, what I can do is take this, swap it out with the firewall. Now swap in the firewall, and give that to Nocturne to see if we can get anything else of interest. I love it when a plan comes together. That's a projectile. So is Water Prison. And now we need to go back and get Seismic Entry, because that's part of the original build, and I don't necessarily want to go without that, which means Water Prison is probably going away, and you know what? That's fine. There we go. Alright, so to finish my story, when my previous bird passed, I think he knew it was time because he flew over to me and just wanted to sit with me for a while, and that's literally all he did. He just sat with me. Like he just sat with me, sat on my finger, and we just, like, we didn't even need to say anything to each other. It was just, he looked at me, I looked at him, and we just shared, I would say it was a moment, but it was a nice long moment. Again, I think both of us knew what was going on. We both knew it was the end, so I stopped everything I was doing to just be with my buddy at the end, and when he passed sitting on my finger. Like, I don't think there's any way I can possibly get any closer to death than that. And I say that not to like compare. It's like, it doesn't matter whose moment necessarily was sadder or not, because that's not the point. This is not a competition. This is, I know what it's like to lose your family friend. Because our pets aren't just these random animals. They are our family. So you said you had to put down your dog, and I'm reading that going, I didn't even have to put down my buddy when he passed. We just knew it was time. So to have to go out of your way to make the conscious decision to do that, like, it honestly sounds like, I don't know how well I would handle it. I think that might be a little bit more than I could bear if I had to make the decision to put down one of my buddies. That's no, that's too much. Now, I know this probably isn't necessarily the best thing to hear right now, but more than likely you did the right thing, because if he needed to be put down, that meant that your buddy was probably suffering, and you made the decision that was best for him, but that still means losing your friend, someone who's been with you through thick and thin. And you have kids too, so I have to imagine that wasn't easy for them either, so this is, like, all I can really say on that is probably made the right decision, but unfortunately it's one that there is no real shortcut for. You're just gonna have to, you and your family are gonna have to just help each other through that, because that is nothing that's going to be easily handled. And I have every confidence that you can do it. perhaps something that I've learned about the passing of someone near you, and yeah, this is going to sound cliched, but I find that it works for me, and that is, don't spend all of your time mourning their passing. Just instead celebrate the time that you had with them. Him, her, I'm not sure if your dog was male or female, but again, that's not necessarily the important part. Owie. I got beat up. I got beat up again. There we go. Ooh, twin turbines. You know what? That actually does count as a projectile, and will probably be more useful than Thundering Chains, so I had an idea, and I spent money on it, and I shouldn't have. Not that I knew I was going to get twin turbines. So I'm sorry, I'm very... Hold on, I'm leaning towards the mic to pick my phone up. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm very sorry about what happened. When you lose someone like that was super close to you, you know, when you were literally as thick as thieves, like that is difficult. Unfortunately, there's no magic cure for that one. Then the third event that happened is that unfortunately Freedom's uncle passed away, and that's... I also have had a number of family members that have died on my end of things, one of them being my mother. So hopefully you still have, you know, some direct family. And it's not to say that uncle isn't direct family and that it's, you know, less of... Ow. Alright. Like, I know I'm kind of covering my butt a little bit too much here, but it is because I'm trying to be super respectful in the situation. And I don't know how close you and your uncle were, but again, not necessarily the important part. So long as it's someone that you thought of favorably, I mean, you get where I'm going with that. But unfortunately, I don't really have strong advice for that. And unfortunately, death is a very natural thing, and you know, it's gonna come for all of us. You know, unless we find a way to become immortal, which, you know, would be nice. Sometime in my lifetime. Please. But I will once again suggest the same thing. I would, you know, try to celebrate their life and what they meant to you as much as you can. Because I'm not saying that that's an easy solution. When my mom passed, trust me, that was the last thing that was on my mind was, oh, she wouldn't want me to cry. She would want me to celebrate her life. No, at that time, all I could think of was, I love this person, and they're gone now, and I feel this hole that I don't know how to fill, and it sucks. So, as much as that advice sounds good to someone on the outside of the situation, I understand that it's not the easiest advice in the world to follow. And depending on how much the situation is hurting you, it might even feel like it's just... Is there anything here I really want? Here, we'll do that. Like, it can even feel like that advice is just patronizing and is just something that people say just to get out of having to talk about it. No, I have no such relationship to death. I'm certainly not necessarily going out of my way to avoid talking about it. It's just a difficult thing to talk about. It's, you know, it is the literal end. It's quite difficult. And that's... You're closing the book on someone's life, and it's someone that was very close to you. So if it does seem like I'm just offering some facetious platitude, trust me, I'm not. But it's not anything that's any easier for anyone. Like, even if you understand and have a healthy relationship with the concept of death itself, that doesn't mean that you're ready for it. No one is ready for it to be just the end. I do hope, at the very least, that your uncle made peace with things. And that when, you know, when it came time, that he was ready. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have anything wise. Well, nothing outside of what I've already said. Like, nothing outside of what I've already said, at any rate. Like, and it's certainly not anything that I'm going to, like, crack a joke about. And I'm not even saying that one can't make a joke about death, because, I mean, you can. There's plenty of jokes out there about things dying. I just don't think this is the right time for it. And the last thing I want to do is, you know, make a joke at the expense of someone who's going through some shit right now. But I can certainly hope that your uncle is like, what I'm about to say is very cliched, and depending on your stance on religion, you may or may not necessarily believe in it, but I hope your uncle is in a better place now. There we go, much better. Now, let's not assume that you're a believer, just like I don't want anyone to assume that I am. Let's look at it a bit more pragmatically, just to make sure that all bases are covered. If your uncle was suffering, then take some solace in the idea that he is no longer suffering. If, on the other hand, it was something more, let's just say, out of the blue, then I hope it was painless. And I suppose I am also curious as to how the rest of your family is taking this. Like, hopefully they're not super callous, or, you know, worse. Hopefully there's no one in your family that was, you know, actively looking forward to this happening so that they can get something out of, like, a, you know, a life insurance payout or something. Because that means that you are related to someone very evil, and you need to land a smackdown. So let's, you know, hope against that particular scenario. I'm just gonna go. And we are talking about the passing of a family member, so unfortunately, there. Maybe unfortunately isn't the word. It's just I don't have the proper knowledge of the person. And even if I did, that's not necessarily important. Sorry about that. What's important is that you no longer have that person in your life to offer guidance and give you someone to talk to and someone to bounce ideas off of. That is the important part. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, bouncy shocks. And another fairy. I think I'm not going to worry about the bouncy shocks now. Alright, so for our final point here, let's now imagine Sura as the embodiment of all of this negativity that you're dealing with, and we are going to attempt to banish him to the next world. Cursed creature, be gone! Leave freedom alone and let him be happy again. Oh no! Negative forces, don't! And there we go. Kind of an easy-peasy victory now that I think about it, but you know what? Oh well. See, that's what you gotta do to the bad vibes. You gotta banish them. Banish them from your life, preferably with a flame fusion to the face. So I hope this victory makes you feel at least a little bit better. Take comfort in knowing that if you need someone to talk to, you can always talk to the others on the Discord channel, and of course you can always talk to me. I know very well what you're going through, and even though I don't have any easy solutions for you, I can at the very least offer the idea that you aren't alone. You have people you can talk to. You have people that will listen to you. Even if the people that you work around are kind of not interested in, talking to you about your problems, feel free to talk to us on the Discord server, and if you need to, DM me directly. Don't feel like you have any reason to feel alone. You have people that are willing to help you, and that will, honestly, they'll help you get through. Because the best thing to have when things are looking sour and when problems are coming your way is a support network. That's the best thing you can have. And as someone who goes through mental health problems and frequently needs to lean on others to find that support, I would encourage you to do the same thing. If you need to, take some time off work, seek professional help, find a therapist, find a doctor. And even if you don't feel like those are good roads, sit down and just talk to your friends, talk to your other family, especially your other family, since they lost an uncle or a husband or a father as well. Just remember, right now is everyone mourns differently, but don't be afraid to lean on someone for help and to talk to them when you feel like you're having a hard time making it. That helped me when my bird passed. That helped me when my mom passed. I think it'll help you too. So that's it. I'm not going to go on the usual YouTube ramble. I hope that this helped you, Freedom, and honestly, talking about it got me a little emotional too, so I think I'm going to go spend a little bit of time with my birds. Thank you for watching, and I hope that things find you better from here on. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.